¿Alguna otra opinión? ¿No?
Well, I have a small,
Bien, pues, continuando con... ¿sí?
I have a small contribution to make.
Okay, please.
There is a program underway. It's not called Alternative 3. There apparently is a vast program underway in the United States to protect the elite. Now, whoever the hell they are, I don't know, but I know they're a group of people who have selected themselves to be the elite. In the event of a forthcoming disaster, they want to be protected. For years and years and years, we have been building in my country massive underground facilities. I was a part of that program when I worked for the Federal Emergency Management Agency for many, many years. I have been into some of those massive underground facilities, and let me tell you, they are literally underground cities. Now, originally they were designed because of the cold thermonuclear war threat. The Soviet Union threatened us, we were threatening them. There was a real danger for a long, long time that we might lose control of this matter and that there would be a thermonuclear war. And we were building these underground facilities. Billions of dollars were going into it, and they were survival facilities, primarily designed originally for the government. So in the event of a nuclear war, the government, the president, the executive branch, the Congress, the legislative, judicial, they could all go down in comfort in these massive facilities. There was underground reservoirs of water, stockpiles of food, stockpiles of medicine, and the original program that I was involved in during those years I was with FEMA was known as Continuity of Government. We called it by the acronym COG, the Continuity of Government Program, to protect the American government in the event of a thermonuclear war. That program has expanded to such a point that it will not merely accommodate the American government, but the program has expanded so that it could accommodate several million people. But the average American taxpayer doesn't know anything about this. And if there was a serious event forthcoming, which I do believe there is going to be a serious event involving the 10th planet, which is a reality that most people don't even want to talk about, that when this event occurs, when Planet X, as it were, makes its pass through the center of our solar system in the few short years ahead, we're going to be in very, very serious trouble. Because every time Nibiru, as the Sumerians called it, comes on its 3,600-year orbit, all hell breaks loose. There are hurricanes, there are tidal waves, there are earthquakes. The entire planet is affected. Well, these massive underground cities, I think, have been designed to protect the elite. And if the average American taxpayer finds out about this, there will be trouble. There will be blood in the streets.
And I want to confirm that what Bob is saying. I have had people who have worked with the Bechtel Corporation and others that have built these underground facilities, and I should also add underground connectors. You can go underground near Washington and surface hundreds of miles out in underground facilities. You can go underground near Edwards Air Force Base and surface very quickly with anti-grav propulsion systems.
They're known as maglev, yes, maglev systems.
And you will surface all the way over in at Nellis or up at Dugway Proving Grounds in Utah, or in the Dulce facility, which does exist. There is also a member of my team who's an electromagnetic engineer at Los Alamos who has confirmed to me that there is an underground connector from the Los Alamos National Laboratories area to the Four Corners Dulce area and continuing on to the Area 51 facility. It is also true that they do have these sort of contingency plans, and they are anticipating significant geophysical stress and distress in the near future. And this is something that most people don't want to hear a whole lot about. But they have used billions of dollars. And by the way, the tunneling system, it's way back as early 70s. A member of my team was read into or briefed on the device, and it's a nuclear-powered tunneling machine that literally turns enormous tunnels into like glassified rock. It's like glass and these massive tunnels. And many years ago, you may have heard these reports in New Mexico. There was something called the Taos Hum, and all the mystics thought it was some kind of earth energy or what have you. In reality, it was this tunnel being built from Los Alamos over to the Dulce facility. And as it went through the bedrock, it made this humming sound. And it was actually reported in Newsweek in the mainstream magazines, but of course, they would never tell the public what they were actually building. But yes, that's very true.
Since I'm blowing my cover and putting myself on the line here, I'll probably have my passport pulled from me when I go home next week. I will tell you a reality that I was stunned to find out that really exists. 10 stories down in the ground, in a place called S4, which is near Groom Lake, Site 51, there is a national laboratory where my friend told me he worked for 5 years, where he met these two visitors from another planet. There is a facility there, 10 stories underground, where you can go through a doorway in Nevada, have your bags packed, step through the doorway, and you are in Pine Gap, Australia.
That's correct. Yeah.
You go through the door in Nevada, and the next moment you are in Pine Gap, Australia. Now, people say, what the hell's going on at Pine Gap, Australia? Well, it happens to be probably the largest national security agency facility on the planet. And what's interesting about it, it is also the location of one of the largest extraterrestrial facilities on the planet, underground in the middle of Australia, at Pine Gap.
La última palabra esta tarde la tiene el Dr. Brian O'Leary.
Yeah, I was just going to mention in Europe there's also Spitsbergen Island